What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Perfect Peace. We're changing things up a little bit today and for this week. It's haying season 2024 on my parents' property, and so that's what we're doing today. We're going to go do some haying, and Dad already started swathing a little bit yesterday. It's supposed to be 100 degrees today. So we're out here early, kind of getting stuff greased up, ready to go. And then, just for fun, we're going to pull a fence line out because why not do that in the middle of haying season? So, we're going to get going here and see what we can do. Got the fence tore down. Things are heating up. It's like 11 o'clock and it's already 80, at least over 80 degrees. So we're gonna fuel up the swather and get this thing rocking and a rolling. Right, Dad?
But What's that?
We're gonna get this thing rocking and rolling.
That's right.
All right. So for those that may not know how this process works, this is called a swather, and swather is responsible for laying down the hay. And so think of it just like a giant lawnmower, and it lays it down in these nice thing called windrows, and then the baler picks them up and turns them into hay bales. The way that this machine works is that it turns a sickle, which is just a giant, these cutting blades underneath of here, and that just, they go back and forth like this, and they cut the grass just like a pair of scissors, and then it just gets shoved into the machine with these tines here, and then it all gets fed to the middle of the machine, and then just goes straight out the back, and that's what creates your windrow. This machine is super fun to run. It's hydrostatic, which means that it turns on a dime, so you can basically just think of like a zero-turn lawnmower, and it's fun. Here goes Dad in his first season of running the swather. Hang 2024. They grow up so fast. Well, we are underway. Dad's swathing. laying it all down, and in a couple hours we're going to have to go back over it with a rake. And so I'll show you what that does. So this is our John Deere 4020 non-air conditioned cab. Well, kind of. Used to be able to stick wet rags in there and turn the air on, and it helped. But this here, this is a rake. And so just like anything that's good, you got to flip it over to toast both sides. So it's, you know, all the hay is currently baking in the sun, and then you flip it over and bake the other side. And then once it's all dried out, you put it through the baler. So this is the rake. And the rake's purpose is just that. You go over the windrows and it just turns them over for you. You can also, they also make rakes where they combine windrows together to make bigger windrows, but we just do small square bales. So our windrows, you know, need to kind of stay pretty small. That way we can get them in one pass and not leave anything on the ground. But all that this does, those teeth that you see, they basically go into the ground and they just kind of scoop up anything that's on the ground, and then they work it in this direction and it just flips it over on its way over. So pretty simple machine. You can see here, I mean, this just kind of spirals, and this is all completely mechanically driven from the tires. So as the tires turn, this turns. There's no PTO attachment or anything like that for it. Very simple machine, but it just turns it over. Then after that, maybe by tonight, we'll see. I mean, it's not tomorrow morning, but we'll be ready to bale the actual hay out there. And so for that, we use this baler, the John Deere 346 small square baler. And all that happens is it basically picks up the windrows here. So this, you know, sits on the ground, and then scoops it into the auger and then puts it back into here. And that's the compactor. So it just takes all that hay and it pushes it together, and pushes it together. And this is PTO driven. PTO is power takeoff, for those that don't know. Be a little cautious. We found a snake in here last year, so. But all it does is it compacts the hay, and then it just starts to push it out the rear end here. And then when it gets to the end of its cycle, it'll tie 2 pieces of twine around the outsides, and then it sets the bale out on the ground, and it's ready for pickup. We'll probably take a look at this here later today, make sure it's good to go. There's still part of a bale in there, which I think we did that on purpose. Like I said, because last year we went to go service this thing and there was a snake that was making it its home up at the front there. Gave Dad a good little fright. I wonder if I still have that video from last year, but if I do, I'll put it in. It was pretty funny. Dad was not a happy camper, and unfortunately that snake lost its life. So, which is okay, because there's a few of them around. But you know, we don't run anything new. It's just, you know, just a super small operation. I think we only have like 100 and, I don't know, maybe 150 acres to put up. I don't even think it's that, honestly. It's probably closer to 100 or 125, but yeah. So now we're on to the next stage of raking here eventually this afternoon, and either by tonight or tomorrow morning we'll be ready to bale and start putting this all up. Man, it is hot, hot, hot. Mom's going at it with the rake, getting stuff moved in. The grass is already drying out. I mean, there's video I took this morning that everything looked nice and lush and green, and it's amazing how fast this dries out and gets ready for baling. So I'm sure I'm going to be baling tonight. and we'll see how long we can go for. There's a 20% chance of storms tonight, so a little nervous about that, but it's better for it to get rained on now than when it's bailed. So we'll see what's in store for us and just do the best we can. So, but give you a look here. So you got these single windrows, and sometimes the baler will take a double windrow. So she'll rake them. She'll rake 2 rows together essentially, and create a bigger windrow. But there's portions of this field where it gets pretty thick, and so it's kind of, we'll probably do some single windrows and do some double ups and that. But she kind of gets to move them around how she sees fit. And the nice thing is we use that same tractor to pull the baler. So whatever that tractor can do with the rake, it'll do with the baler, and it makes it pretty easy. So Dad's still cutting away way over there. So you can see some clouds starting to build in the north, which is a little nerve-wracking. So all we can do is the best we can, and we'll just keep going. It's not a super fast process, but it's really effective. Got my partner in crime coming here. Want to go for a ride? Man, you're gloved up and everything. You're ready for some work.
I was gonna come out with you guys.
Come out, yeah. Do some man work. I know Dad's in a supervisory role today. Usually I have to run all this stuff, and not today. We just get to hang out. So we go take a drive over to Grandpa?
Yeah, I was gonna go ask him once I could walk on minus him.
Oh, right on the Swather?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, you better get your rides in. Get a swather right in. Did you ride in the swather with Grandpa yesterday at all?
No, I never. I hadn't got to ride in the Swathing in a long time.
Oh man. Oh, we'll get you a good ride. All right, we get Nolan a ride with Grandpa here. You ready to rock? You got tool belts on and everything. You're more than ready to rock. Ready to rock, bud? Going for a ride. Are you gonna ride with you? He was gonna ride with you. Drive the tractor?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Alright, well. Fix Grandpa's windrows here. He's getting pretty crooked. Alright. Well, can't lose that. Alright. Turn it on. Go to max. What do you think of that? Work for you? Not yet. Not too soon. Look at all the bugs on the windshield. Alright, do it. Alright, put her down. Good job. Then all you do is just lightly tap it back. There you go. Yep, just like that. Alright, ready? Alright, you gotta come right here. Alright, you're gonna steer it. Got it?
Yeah.
Alright. You gotta keep the edge of the header by the line of grass there. Okay? You gotta turn. Yep, there you go. There's just little small turns. Remember, you gotta look at the end of the header and look at the end of the grass. That's where we want it. I'll watch for rocks, okay? You have to keep it turned. Turn. Now turn. There you go. Good job. No hands. Alright. Oh, watch where you're going. Turn. Windrow's going to be a little crooked. Now keep it nice and straight, bud. There you go. Alright. Watch it. Get to the end of the road here. Go! There you go. Alright, raise it up a little more. Alright, turn around. Turn. There you go. Oh, alright. A little much. A little too much. Alright, there we go. We'll go forward here. All right, get ready to put your header down. All right, put it down. All the way down. Yep, there you go. All right. All right, steering. Okay, you gotta watch this side now. Just shut this down here. Hi, buddy. Thanks for riding with me today. Want to get out of here? All right. Yep, you're good. Know where to hold on to? There you go. All right, love you, buddy. All right. This property back in 1994, 1995. I was still pretty little, but Mom and Dad used to run some cows. I think maybe they had 20 head or something like that. And we used to have a lot of people, we used to have neighbors and stuff that would come up and hay it for us and put it up, but with the downturn in the economy, there was some equipment that came up for sale about 4 years ago. Not really a downturn in the economy, but it was just there were some good buys going on, and so that's what they did. They picked up the swather and the baler, and we've had the tractor for a little while, and then we just started putting up our own hay. My grandparents on my mom's side, the Borgans, they used to put up hay, every year, and had quite a few head of cows and stuff. So I kind of grew up haying, for a couple of years, and then harvesting as well. But so this is kind of second nature to me. And my mom, while she was around it growing up, she was never in the machines. And And so, she was always with the cows and the horses and working those, and then her brothers and dad would go out and put up the hay and harvest. Even my grandma got in on it for the most part. So this is new for my parents to be able to do this, and I was fortunate enough that when I was young, I was pretty used to it. In middle school, I started going and harvesting and haying with my grandparents, and would spend a couple weeks at a time just helping them out. And that's when I learned to drive truck, and that's where I learned to run equipment and to understand the process of how a lot of farming stuff works, but I'm no expert in any means. There's something really special and enjoyable about working the land and just creating your own food source essentially for animals and other people, and it's a pretty fulfilling thing. And this is no big operation by any means. I mean, this is, like I said, only probably 120 acres, but we put up small square bales for people, and those are great for people who do 4-H around here and do other activities with livestock. It's nice to have small square bales to put in, keep them fed, or when you're going to shows and that sort of stuff. And all of this land, it's all just dry land, meaning there's some people you'll see online, they irrigate, so they add water to it themselves, through different pipes or sprinkler systems or whatever, and this is all natural, God's creation here, and He's the one that determines whether it's going to be a good year or a bad year. And Mom and Dad started spraying this last summer for cheatgrass. We have a really bad cheatgrass problem, and it's really cleaned it up nice, but it's going to be a thinner year this year, mainly because we're killing out the cheatgrass, and then the native grasses that we're hoping are going to start taking back over again. But otherwise, this is purely whatever we're given each year, and we gladly accept it because we're fortunate enough that the portion that Dad cut yesterday, that's always got a lot of alfalfa in it, which is what you want, and we're starting to get some good crested wheat, but it's a lot of hours of just driving back and forth, but it's fun too. It gives you a lot of time to think and give you time to just kind of veg out, other than watching for big rocks and stuff. It's pretty straightforward, and of course you're always watching for fire. That's a number one concern when you're doing this. I don't know if you can see it in any of the videos, but there you had a lot of these puff balls and this super light cheatgrass, and it just kind of explodes every time you do. And that stuff is pretty flammable. Hits the right part of the motor, or spark hits the ground, and it doesn't take much to start a fire. The nice thing about the job of swathing is that you got air conditioning, and it's pretty pleasant, but the tractor is not nearly as fun. It's kind of a little hot box, and well, with it being about 100 degrees today, I'm not a very fun place to be. But Mom and Dad really don't like running the swather for whatever reason. They just it turns weird because it's got what's called a hydrostatic system in it, so it's not like a traditional car where you turn the wheel. It steers from the back end, and it's really touchy. So whenever I turn, it's just little movements is all that it takes to really spin it on a dime. So if you're not used to that sensation, it can be pretty overwhelming, especially when you got to raise up a header at the same time, and you got spinning blades of death down there, and you got to watch out for rocks and light poles. But for whatever reason, I really enjoy it, and I don't know, I think I do an okay job at it. Try not to break anything. Let's see if we can work our way around this light pole here. No, I'll pass. That was still one of my favorite things growing up, was taking tractor rides with my grandpa and just being able to just hang out in heavy machinery. You know, as a little boy, that's some of the coolest things you can ever do. It's fun to be able to pass that. You know, I can see that in my own son, that he really enjoys the same stuff, and it's just kind of fun. Fun to see that excitement and wonder. And a lot of kids up here learn to drive at a really young age because it's middle of nowhere, and you just learn sitting on dad's lap or grandpa's lap, and you know, it starts with steering, and then before you know it, they're driving themselves around. And that's what makes living in places like this so fun and so enjoyable, is that a lot of kids, they go to driver's ed and it's kind of a joke because they already kind of know the rules of the road and already know how to drive. This is the alfalfa here. All the purple, anything you can see is purple, that's alfalfa, and that's the really good stuff. That's the stuff we're after and want to have lots of in the field. All right, swapped out with Dad, taking it over. You can see behind me I got some clouds coming in, so we're gonna lay down what we can and we'll see what happens. Usually when it's this hot, it's usually just a windstorm, which just kind of makes a mess of stuff, but you got to put it in the windrows anyway, so I don't know, keep coming, see what happens. Well, we thought we were going to get lucky and have this storm go north of us, but unfortunately we got hit. Cool double rainbow though. We're going to go check a field and see if it went as far south as we thought it did. We're hoping not, because then it might still be able to bail this field over here tomorrow. So yeah, but I think that's heading north. I mean, that's, you know, heading to the east, but
should be someone that's building that's a little trouble.
I know that one that's over there is gonna still come get us.
Yeah, this here is where it's a little bit troubling unless
It's still going up.
split.
We did get some pea-sized hail.
Yeah, I know. Soft though.
Yeah, it was soft. In fact, it's already melted. Just rained 5 minutes ago.
90 degrees.
Still 90 degrees.
Yeah, that's
Is it weird that this feels really cool?
this is the part that's troubling.
Well, that's just it. I mean, that's still coming, but it could. I mean, it could cut north and go around. But it was really strange that this one went north and then all of a sudden it cut south.
Yeah.
It went northeast, I guess, then cut back to the south. But we can handle a little rain. Just can't have the wind. That's going to be the issue. At least not super heavy wind. Yeah, man, look at that thing. You want to tell the YouTube audience about your exploding fire extinguisher?
No.
I charged this fire extinguisher's mine, and I charged it this morning, ready to go in case we had a fire. And I put it in the back of Dad's pickup, and he went to go get diesel fuel, and I thought I had it, strapped in or whatever, but apparently it fell over, and then it proceeded to spray all over going down the highway. So, much to his surprise, so I got him. I got Dad.
I thought it was dust at first, and then I'm looking like, well, there's no way there could be that much dust because I was in Huntley, so I pull over and start looking and go, oh no.
The cool thing is these fire extinguishers are rechargeable, so you put water, a little bit of soap, and then you just pressurize it, and it's amazing how much fire one of these will put out. But at least we didn't burn up a fire extinguisher. Well, it's looking mean too. Looking a lot meaner actually, even just from a minute ago. Let's see, did it rain here? Yep, it rained here. It's wet. Oh yeah, that'll be a little bit to dry out. That's gonna be a while.
Yeah, it is.
That's gonna be tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
Tomorrow night.
at least, yeah.
I bet those horses over there are really happy that they got a rain though. Cool them off. Oh man, more rainbows. Goes around. Yeah.
It's pretty amazing how fast it's building. That thing is fired up.
It's like a double-edged sword. You gotta have the heat to dry out the hay, but usually when you got the heat, you end up with a thunderstorm. Well, and hail, yeah. There's that. No tornadoes, though.
What's that?
No tornadoes, though.
Warnings for it anyway.
No.
It's got that. This one, so.
I didn't think it did either, but it's. Yeah, you can see the ground. It's wet.
Yeah.
Better do a hand check, though. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's wet. Not as wet, but still wet. Unfortunately, yeah, this field's going to be done until at least tomorrow night. So that's the storm that hit us, moving that way. And then, unfortunately, there's another one building right there that I don't know if we're going to get lucky because, I mean, just even 5 minutes ago, this over here didn't even exist. I mean, so it's really built fast to the south. This could be a interesting evening.